Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. We'll begin shortly. Thank you. Good morning, Sanjeet. Good morning, Ankur. Jai Hind, Harish. I like this Jai Hind though. Good evening, Chitwan. Good afternoon, Christopher. Good morning, Sushil. We'll give a couple of more minutes for people to join, and then we will thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. Good morning. And we begin shortly. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, Anupam. Okay. So we can start now, and whatever we have discussed so far. So the next topic is related to bill of material. We have talked about bill of material briefly before also. Bill of material or BOM is one of the central master data for SAP Business One perspective. In this chapter, we will talk about the structure of the bill of material, means how the bill of material master data can be set up. We have seen that before. We will see this again. We will also look at type of bill of material. So what are the different type of BOMs or bill of material which are there in SAP? Okay. Type. So in SAP, there are different type of bill of materials exist. We'll talk about what are those type of bill of material which are there in SAP system. Okay. So we will discuss and we will talk about those different type of master data as well. Okay. So objectives. Because we are using SAP example, so this is just an example where we are producing decorative wooden doors and cabinets. So this company manufactures decorative wooden doors and cabinets. So how can we make a BOM? How can we make a bill of material? Because you need to have a bill of material as a part of manufacturing. And we also talked about in my previous class that in case of complex manufacturing, bill of material, if required, can be four-dimensional. Bill of material obviously will have raw material and components or different items which we require to manufacture. But it will also include non-items also. It always talked about it will also, or it can also include resources. And we talked about there are different type of resources. There could be resource, machine resource, there could be labor resource. And you can define routes also. So we saw that BOM in one of the examples which I showed it to you before, that in the bill of material, we can have different type of routes. Route, you can stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Because the manufacturing process can go through different stages. Okay. So we can have different stages. We can define sequences of these stages. Okay. So we also take that as well. So you can have different stages. Okay. Now this is just an example of a bomb. So the color, which is this yellowish color, is an item, and this whitish color is a resource. Now this is just an example of how the resource can be. So we have a decorative wooden door, and then in the decorative wooden door we can have, so decorative wooden door, we have a, it is consist of wooden door. Now because it is a yellowish color, so this is the item. With this wooden door also include or require handle. So we can include handle also. Okay, so we can also include handle. Now in the handle, this can also include resources. So in order to manufacture that, we can do lathe machine. We can, okay, okay. We need operator. So there are 4 components, and out of that 2 are item and 2 are resources. So if I have to manufacture decorative wooden door, I require wooden door, which is item. I require handle, which is an item or material. I need lathe machine, which is a resource machine, and I need operator, that is resource operator. Okay, so we can have this construct, and this construct is called bill of material. Okay, now here in the bill of material, there is example number 2. What is the meaning of that is, this is one example in the last page, example 1, and this is example 2. The fundamental difference between the two is the label of the BOM. Bill of material could be single label, and bill of material can also be multi-label. So now in the last, we have these 4 components. Now what is the addition? That wooden door has its own bill of material also. So there are 2 labels of BOM. So in SAP, bill of material can be multi-label. This is label 1, this is label 2. In the wooden door, you have 2 items. White is item because yellowish color is item, and this color is the resource. So here, this color is in wooden. So wooden door require wooden plate, and wooden door also require isolation flake. And then we have this also require pressing machine. And of course, we need handle, we need lathe machine, we need machine operator. So this is an example of a bill of material, which is of 2 labels of the bill of material. So that basically means bill of material could be single label, and bill of material can be multi label. Now, this is an example. If I make it this bit larger, so this is my product decorative wooden door. If I have to manufacture one item in this warehouse, I need item wooden door, I need item handle, I need resource lathe machine, then I need to rotate 80 degrees, I need resource lathe machine, and I need one cycle, and then I need machine operator, I need 2 hours. So this is an example of bill of material. This is example of the BOM. Okay, this is example of the BOM. Similarly, this is just a simple example. You can make it as complex, as simple as you want. Okay, that is what is represented here. This is the bill of material basic example. Now this is an example. So last one was the basic, and this is routed. Here we have a routed. So starting version 9.3 PL2, now we have version 10. Bill of material can also have a structure in stages and allowing routing procedure. Now this is an example. So this is an example of it. This is the most complex. So let me go back. So 1, 2, 3. Example 1, simple BOM. You can have it if you want this way. This is one possibility. Go to the next slide. This is second possibility where you can have 2 labels of BOM. You can have a 2 label, 3 labels. And then this is a basic example of the BOM, how it looked like in SAP. And then here we have an example of BOM, which is most complex. Now, why it is complex? Because along with the item and resources, it also have a stages in it. It also have a routes. You see the route stages. Stage 1, cutting. Stage 2, painting. So you can have this example. Okay. Now, I wanted to do an exercise. So I want to create a complex routed BOM in SAP. Okay. Now for that, my finished good is wooden cabinet. So what is the wooden pallet? So we have FG wooden cabinet. So we are making a wooden cabinet. So I need to have a FG for that. Okay. Let's create FG. So we go back, we log into SAP, we go to inventory, we go to item master data. Okay. So I do FG011. I want to do wooden cabinet. This is my finished good. I put a unit of measure each. I go to sales BOM, unit of measure each. I go to inventory data, unit of measure each. Planning data. This is a MRP item. It is a procurement, means we manufacture this item. And back flushing basically means it get automatically created. So we can do back flush or we can do manual. I want to do manual, so I want to receive quantity manually, not automatically. Back flush means automatically. See the message in the bottom, FG011 created. So we created a item FG011. Now, in order to create this BOM, so I need this. This is my finished good. For that, I need an item called wooden plate. Okay, so I need raw material. So I can say raw material 011. I also need raw material, so I need wooden plate. Okay. This is my raw material. So I want to create a raw material, and this is my raw material. So material group, raw material. Now, when we go back here, and then I go to purchasing, your purchase unit of measure, each, sales unit of measure, each, inventory unit of measure, each, planning data, you're doing MRP, and this is buy. So that basically means this is a purchase item. Okay, this is my purchase item. Okay, so we do buy, and this is a purchase item. I go to production, back flush. Is it get consumed automatically, manually? I want consumption to be manually, so I put it manually because I want to decide how much is got consumed. So we put it manually and we save it. Resource. Oh, there is already a record. Okay. You cannot have a duplicate material IDs, or any ID cannot be duplicate. You cannot have two customers with the same ID. You cannot have two purchase order with the same ID. You cannot have two vendors with the same ID. So we created material RM011A. So we created a raw material, and that raw material is called RM011A. Now what is that? That is basically wooden plate. So we created a wooden plate. Now, after the wooden plate, what we have? We need a machine operator, we need a cutting machine, we need a printing machine. Okay, so in this, if I have to create this routing BOM, this is how the routed BOM look like. Okay, so let's make this routed BOM the way it is there in front of us. Okay, so now we close that, and after that I want to go to bill of material, and this is the bill of material. So in the bill of material, and we hit enter, and we hit enter, Control A. Now I enter that item and the finished good. So what is our finished good? So finished good is FG011. FG011. Wooden cabinet. And we are copying what we have it here. So when we are creating a wooden cabinet, the very first route is stage is cutting. Okay. So we do stage number 1. Okay. And when we do stage number 1, what we are doing? We are doing cutting. For that, what we need? We need a cutting machine. So in stage machine, so I need cutting machine. So I go back and I already have a cutting machine. This is the resource we created. We learned in the last class. So we have a cutting machine. We have a cutting machine. We need operator. Okay. We need operator. So we go to another resource, and for that I need a operator. Then I need wooden plate. I need wooden plate. I need raw material 011A. I need a wooden plate. This is what we are creating. Then there is a text. Cut the plate according to the manual. So there is a comment here. Add row. Cut the plate according to cabinet manual. So we have a cabinet manual and we want to cut according to cabinet manual. Okay. Cut the plate according to cabinet manual. We have instruction. So if you have any kind of free instruction, that is called text. Okay. So that is called text. So we enter the text, we enter the wooden plate, we enter the cutting machine, we need a resource. Then we go to stage 2. So here we go to stage. Now we want to create a stage 2. Stage 2 is painting. Stage 2 is painting. So we want to do painting machine. For that, I need a resource, operator 2. Then I want to do item, and for this item, I also need a paint. So we need a item that is called paint. Do we have a paint? Paint. So we have paint. You put a text. After painting, please keep door in sunlight for 4 hours. So what we did, we created this routed bill of material. Once we are done, we can save it. Now, if you see the quantity here, now I put 1 means if you want anything, I need, not 1 hour, I need 2 hours, or I need whatever, you can change whatever quantity you want. I have a wooden plate, I need wooden plate, 4 pieces. So whatever quantity you require, you can change quantity. And this quantity you can modify, you can anytime. So this is quantity I require. So how much is hour of cutting, how much is operator hour, how much is a wooden plate, and so all those quantity, whatever you think is required, you can enter in bill of material. And this quantity could be whatever we want. And we save it. So what we did our first exercise. We created a complex routed BOM in SAP. In this BOM, we had routes or stages. We had resource machines. We have a resource labor, and we have others like comment, etc. So that is example of a complex routed bill of material in SAP. That is what we see here, and that is what we did. Okay. So that is what we can do. Now we go to the next one. Now here we have bill of material pricing. Now, how the system determine the pricing? So if I go back to the bill of material, so if let us say I open the bill of material which is just created, and my item basically was FG011. So FG011. Okay. So now what happens is there is a price. You see that here? There is a price. This is the unit price. This is the price. Now, what is this pricing basically comes from? Now, this pricing, which you see here in the BOM or bill of material, this pricing. So cutting machine has unit price $100 and 2 hours. So 100 into 2 become 200. Operator is 100 rupees per hour, and is 1 hour, it become $100. Now, if you see this wooden plate, this is empty because for this wooden plate, we did not enter any price. We just created material. Then this painting machine is 70 rupees per hour. So we're going to need 1 hour of this painting machine. So this painting machine takes 70 rupees here. Operator 2 is the 60 rupees per hour cost. His 60 rupees get included. Got included. If you see this paint, we need 1 kilogram of the paint, and this paint cost me 799. So what is my total cost? So the total cost becomes 799, 60 plus 70 plus 100 plus 200. So if I make one wooden cabinet, it will cost me 1,229. Now, in this, there is no cost for this. There is no cost for this because we have not set up any cost for this wooden plate. Now, there is something called here. You see the price list, base price list, base price list. So we can set up the base price list. So for example, how do we do that? So we go back to inventory, we go to price list, we go to price list, we double click on the price list, and then I want to go to that item which is raw material. So if I scroll down, so this one, and I set up some price here. So one plate, let us say, is for 70 rupees per plate. See that base price list, and I say add, and I said okay, and I said okay. So what we did, so we basically added the price for the price list. Now what we are saying here is there is also, you can provide a global update for bill of material product according to component price. This is done in the production update item price globally window. So what happens is that your raw material cost may keep changing. My raw material cost today is $70, means we had a zero before, and now I made it to 70 or whatever. Tomorrow this 70 become 80 or 90 or 20 or whatever. So the price of the components may continue to change. Then it should also impact and change the price of the finished goods. Update item price globally. Now where is that? So here we have update item. So we can see that if you go back here in the production, and we have update parent item price globally. Update item price globally. Okay. So now if I go back here and we can see the price, we can put item FIG. What was that item? We can select multiple also, FG011. Okay, so FG011. Oh no. FG011. I want to update the component price with the raw material. I can select my properties, hit OK. Parent item price cannot be updated found. Okay. So FG, 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 FG. Okay. So we go to parent price, FG11. Properties, and hit enter. Okay. Hit update, hit update. Okay. Now after that, I want to go to bill of material, FG011. Now here in FG011, we have this price of 70 rupees per panel. So this price of 280 got updated. So that is how we can update the prices in the system. Okay. We can update the price in the on the system. So what we did, so we did two things. We updated, or I should say maintained, price list for new raw material. And then we updated price in BOM subsequently. Okay. So these are the two. So we can go there. So that is what we did exercise. Now there is another concept. So if you see here, there is another concept called phantom item. Make a note of that term called phantom item. So that basically means, what is the phantom item? So we have a skateboard. In that skateboard, and this is just example, that we have a wheel, 4 pieces of the wheel, but these wheels are not in inventory. Is a phantom item. So this wheel is not inventory item. It doesn't go to inventory at all. It is just as a part of construct. So I create a skateboard. A skateboard is consist of the group of um, So we have a wheel, and then in the wheel you have a board, and the board you have also axis, you have also 2 screws. Then wheel is a assembly by itself. Now in that wheel assembly, that wheel is consist of tire, is consist of rim, is consist of 4 pieces of screw. But the difference is this wheel is also a item, but it is a phantom item. Phantom item are not inventoried item. So the difference between regular item and the phantom item is that it does not appears in inventory. That is the difference. Does not appears in inventory. Now, how do you maintain a phantom item in SAP? So here we have inventory. And same item, same everything. And if I go back and open an item, FIG, okay. So if I open an item, and if I go back here in the production data, and then we have a phantom item. This is the only field which is different. If you want to create an item and you want to create this item as a phantom item which does not available, which does not entered in inventory, you need to have this field on the production data checked on. This is phantom item. Okay. This is phantom item. Okay. Phantom item. So you can have that item in inventory, and but you can have this item in the BOM, but phantom item does not reflect exist in inventory. That is why it is called phantom item. So we talked about a concept called phantom item. Phantom items does not exist in inventory. They are non-inventory items. We can create item master for them. We can use and maintain in BOM. Okay. So we can have filter point. Now in SAP, you can have different type of BOM types. So we talked about sales BOM, sorry, production BOM, of course. And we also created a production BOM today. We created a complex routed BOM. But apart from the BOM, we can also use or have sales BOM, assembly BOM, template BOM. What is the difference? Sales BOM, so make a note of that. Sales BOM, assembly BOM, template BOM. What is the difference? Sales BOM can be used in the sales document. For example, you have a built yourself furniture kit. One of the example of the sales BOM in our day-to-day life could be a computer. And computer is made up of CPU. Computer is made up of monitor. Computer is made up of keyboard, is made up of mouse. Computer is nothing. Computer is a construct of these components. These components together are called sales BOM. That is where the sales BOM come. Then we have a sales BOM. We also have an assembly BOM. Now, what is the difference between sales BOM and assembly BOM? In assembly BOM, unlike sales BOM, only finished product appears in the sales order. So in the sales BOM, you can have a finished good, you can have a raw material components. In case of assembly BOM is like a sales BOM, but the difference is it only has finished good in the only the finished good will appear in the sales order document. Only the parent will come. Here, parent and child both will come. I have a computer. Computer is made up of child. So let's take an example. So example of a sales BOM. So example of sales BOM could be as follows. So we can have a finished good inventory. So finished good, for example, you have a computer. And this computer is made up of, let us say, CPU, made up of keyboard, it's made up of monitor. So this construct is called a sales BOM. So you have a computer, and this computer, and this is actually your parent item, and these are your child item. This is child 1, this is child 2, and this is your child 3. Child 1, child 2, child 3. And this construct together is called a sales BOM. And then there's assembly BOM. Assembly BOM and sales BOM difference. In sales BOM, parent and child both appears. In case of assembly BOM, only the parent appears. Child does not appear. In case of template BOM, is actually free flow, means you can have parent and child, both kind of items. You can use in sales, you can use in purchasing, and you can basically add and delete, duplicate any row, any item. You cannot do that in sales and assembly items. Now let's look at this picture here. In case of assembly BOM, you can only sell it. You cannot inventory those items, you don't purchase those items. In case of sales item, there is no inventory, there is no sales. Because when you're selling the computer, that computer is only exist for the purpose of sales, no inventory. In case of template BOM, you can also inventory those items, you can also sell those items, you can also purchase those items. Production BOM we have already seen. Now there are certain places you have a black, and some of places you have a non-black. Why that is the case? So if we see that here, one basically means optional. So black basically means that is mandatory. Yellow basically means, or wherever you see this one, that basically means it's optional. So in case of template BOM, you want to make it inventory, you have a choice, yes or no. If you want sales item, if this to be sales item, you have a choice, yes or no. You want that item to be purchase item, you have a choice, yes or no. Then in case of production BOM, if you want this item to be sales relevant or inventory relevant, it's your choice. But if it's a production item, it will mandatorily has to be relevant for inventory. Okay, that's the difference. Now let's take one more example. So we want to create a, let us say, sales BOM. So I want to create a sales BOM. Okay. And for creating the sales BOM, I want to create a, let us say, finished good, and I call this finished good the computer. I want to create a sales BOM, and I want to create this as a computer. Just an example. Computer is our day-to-day life, so we are selecting it, could be whatever. So we close this, we go to item. And then when I go here, and then I select FG012. I select item type as FG. and then I select this as, computer, with a sales form. I go to purchasing, I go to each. I go to sales bomb, I call it each. I go to inventory item, I will call this as each. Planning data, this is MRP, make item, production, back plus, we do manually if you want to manufacture. Okay, so what we did, and this item is relevant for inventory, relevant for sales, relevant for purchasing. Then see what happens. And then we save it. So we make sure that this is relevant for all the three. Now, if we see here, sales bomb can only be relevant for sales. It cannot be relevant for inventory. It cannot be relevant for purchasing. Okay. But we made it relevant for all the three. We're going to see the messages. So FG012 created. So we create a material and we call this material as FG012. FG012. After that, I want to go and create a sales bomb. So now I want to go and create sales bomb. So we want to create a sales bomb. So how do we create a sales bomb? So we go back. So inventory, we go to production, we go to bill of material, and then we create here finished good inventory FG012. Now here in the bomb type, by default is a production, and I select now sales bomb. Sales bomb. Now in the item, I want to select some item. So what this is consist of? So we just select some item that is consider of some JV offset something. I select another item and say this item is consist of some motherboard. This item is so we selected some item. It consists of some keyboard, and this item is consist of some mouse. This example, right? So what we are doing? So for this item, this is the computer sales bomb we are creating. We select a bomb type as sales. And then production is standard cost, nothing is there, obviously, because we didn't enter. And then we have item A, item B, item C, item D. So we have these 4 items. We just selected 4 items. Now for each item, there is a price. This is 18,000, 2,900, 900, 900. So total of this bomb become 22,725. Okay, we try to add it. Now see the message in the bottom. Only a production bomb or a template bomb can be defined as a purchase item. So because in the material, I have set up this also as a purchase item. So that is the first error message. Because your sales bomb cannot be purchase item. It's not, you cannot purchase it. It cannot be purchase relevant. So for that, I go back and I take this purchasing checkbox off and I hit update. I hit update. And after making this update, I want to go and add again. Now see the message again. Second error message. And the second error message tells me that only a production bomb can be defined as an inventory item. So if we see here, Sales BOM cannot be inventory item also. Okay, so we go back to the material, and we take this inventory checkbox also off. So only one thing should be there. That's what this slide basically means. It can only be sales related item. It can only be sales item. And we add issue method for in non-inventory item has to be backflash. Okay. So backflash. And we save it. Operation completed successfully. Okay. We update my item. We again come back here. And again we come back. We are creating a sales BOM for item FG012. And I say add. Now, correct. And why that is the case? Because that is what is being defined here. We are doing a sales BOM example. Now what I want to do, I want to go back and I want to go to a sales order, for example. So let's go to sales. Let me go to sales order. I select my customer. I select the item, and item is FG012 computer. And the moment I enter this, remaining items comes up. Do you notice that? Okay, let me do it again. So I go back to sales order. I select my customer here. This is my customer. And then I select my item FG012, which is sales BOM. I select one piece. The moment I select the first quantity, component also comes along with it. And if you see that there is a color difference. So the parent item is a bit reddish in the color. So we identify. That is where we can identify. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the black color. And that is the difference between the two. And then you can see all these items. This is a stock, this is a stock, this is a committed. And that is how. And then we say add. And we say yes. We enter the delivery date. We add. We say it. So we create a sales order. So next, create sales BOM, and then we created a sales order with material who has sales BOM. And then we verified expansion of sales BOM in sales order. Okay. So this is a good breaking point. So I will stop here now. So thank you. And we will talk next week. Thanks all. Thank you very much. And we'll talk next week. Thank you very much. Bye guys. Have a nice weekend.